This conference is being recorded.
Okay, we are being recorded now, and just say your name and attendance.
Okay.
Somebody?
Bert.
Anybody?
Fern.
Joel.
Marcy.
Cheryl, yeah. There you go.
Cheryl, come on,
Pliner,
Cheryl. Yeah.
so people know, right. Okay.
Oh, Joel Pliner, yep.
Okay, yes, yeah. We
We
have a couple of Joels here. We don't want to do this. Okay. Now, the topics for tonight is you have a choice, and each person can go. And since there's only 4 of us, we could actually take 10 minutes each without a problem. The 3 topics that you can choose from is 1, the earliest memories of Wawarsing, how young you were, what you first recall being there, or 2, Alley Pond Park memories, the 4 reunions, or 3, bungalow stories. So who would like to start first? Fern?
Sure. I'm always happy to talk, you know me.
Otherwise, I can't stop you, so I'll let you go first and then stop.
That's the best way to deal with it, Cheryl.
Yes, I know.
Really.
I've been doing this for a while now.
Yeah. No, but I've been thinking about it, and I really have to say that my first memories of Wawarsing are you and Glenn. I mean, you know, we spent a lot of, just like a lot of the people that after Wawarsing went together to other bungalow colonies, we went to other bungalow colonies before Wawarsing together. And when we first came to Wawarsing, it was really just the 4 of us, me and Joanne and Glenn and Cheryl, and we were in Section A, you know, and you know, your first year in Section A, you don't really get to know everybody, you know. So we, pretty much the 4 of us hung out, and I remember my bungalow, which was in the main building, had no porch. So, and Cheryl's bungalow, which was right across from us, had a little porch on it. So I remember at night, you know, after it was time to come in, we used to all sit on Cheryl's porch at night. You know, me, Glenn, and Cheryl and Joanne, because I guess they weren't secure enough to let us go wandering around the fields in those days.
Right.
Kind of long ago, yeah. And we were pretty young, but those were my first memories of Section A, and then, you know, I moved to Section B. But as far as time, I've said this before, time concepts kind of get me messed up because I can't figure out how long I was at Wawarsing or what years it was, which is pretty par for the course for me, but
it was those damn 60s.
I don't know. I know for sure that my last year there was 66. The reason I know that it was 66 was because it was the year of Bert's sister's Sweet 16.
Oh.
The last time I ever saw Florence, she was pregnant with Jerry.
Oh, wow.
That's how I know that my last year was Jerry is born in 66, right?
Yes, May of 66.
Yeah, so that's how I know for sure. And I always thought that, I know, Cheryl, you got to help me here. I always thought we were there like maybe 6 years or so, like a significant number of years. But when I look through the pictures and stuff, it looks to me like maybe we were only there 3 or 4 years.
Well,
we don't have all the pictures. I mean, we have some pictures.
Fern, how many years were you in Section B? Do you remember that?
I thought I was in Section B for 3 or 4 years, and I thought I was in Section A for 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
Well, that's
okay, Fern, did you move upstairs from us too in that building?
No.
Or you
I
were
was
always
right across from you.
Section A. Did you move on top of?
You know, that's what Shelley Gersman says. She says there was a staircase up to my bungalow or whatever it was, my apartment.
Yes.
And that me, Terry, and Shelley used to sit in that staircase, and that my grandmother actually had that bungalow right across, and she used to get mad, but she couldn't yell at us because it was me and Joanne, so she kept quiet about it. You know, but that's probably correct. I just, for some reason, remember being on the bottom apartment, but I think my grandmother was on the bottom apartment and I was on the top. I think it was up the steps.
Yeah, and we were under you, too. But our entrance was on the other side of the steps, and that's my bungalow story. You want me to tell it, or you want to keep going?
Oh no, we can. Oh, please, we don't have to go.
Okay, let me tell my bungalow story.
Yeah.
But this is a really funny one. And I know you don't remember it, Fern, but it was, now, see, at first
Don't
I
rub
couldn't
it in.
figure out whether it was you, okay, or it was Harry Stein. Because they also, when you left that bungalow, the Steins took it.
Right.
Up the stairs.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was you. And this is what happened. Glenn and I and you and Joanne figured that in the staircase that went up to your place, and we were on, our doorway was on the other side. So your doorway was facing the Thorners bungalow.
Right.
And our doorway was facing Ruby's bungalow and the Steins bungalow and the Weissbucks to our left. So we were in the opposite way, even though we were under you.
Don't forget
we were literally under you because we could hear you guys above. And every time you would go up the stairs and everything, you know, my mother would go, "Oh, I guess Joanne and Fern got home."
Yeah, we were always lightweights. Yeah, truck
yeah,
horses,
right.
my mother used to call us.
So what happened was, I think it was you and I and Glenn, because Joanne, of course, would never do anything wrong unless we made her do something wrong, which was often.
Yeah, poor Joanne.
And we got the idea that was actually between us in that staircase went into our apartment. So what we did is we got my father's hacksaw and we sawed a square out so we could talk between the staircase and
oh
the
my
apartment.
God.
You know, I remember.
Roy the bungalow.
Yeah,
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
There's a memory for you.
Yeah, because we
So
were.
what was happening is the whole summer, and what we did is that's all we did was we took tape and put it back over so that the adult, because we had cut a square out, so we put the tape back over, and anytime we wanted to use it, and Glenn and I would just pull down the tape and go, "Fern, Fern," and she'd come running down.
That's classic.
I know.
Oh, that is.
Classic.
So somewhere in the middle of the summer, my father, he was somehow going up the stairs, and Glenn pulled the thing, not knowing it was my father going up to see your parents. And my father went, "What is going on?"
Oh,
and we were caught.
That's great.
So both my Uncle Herbie and my father hit the roof because we literally had hacksawed.
Well, what did they expect to have nice, well-behaved children when they acted the way they acted? You know, I mean, they weren't nice,
was it
well-behaved.
through wood? Did you have to cut through wood?
It was plywood.
Oh, yeah. Well, it was basically paper, you know.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I mean, you have to understand they weren't, you know,
that's...
but it really wasn't wood. It was, you know, I guess
plywood.
it was that whiteboard.
Oh, yeah, okay, like homosote. So
yeah.
it wasn't much of a wall.
It wasn't
That's
hard.
so
There was
funny,
Glenn
though.
on one side and Fern on the other, and they were hack-talking back and forth.
Jeez,
you know, and Joanne and I were just watching them do this and stuff.
That makes me sound very nice.
So they were so afraid that the Horowitz were going to charge them for it that when they saw the hole, they plastered it back up and did it a thing. Except that what we did then is we made a little hole.
Yeah. No,
and we were able to put papers back.
We were always very close. We had been summering together since we were infants.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Did you pass stuff
I remember
through
the bungalow colony before was called Bluebird, right?
Bluebird, not only Bluebird, but before Bluebird there was, oh, God, what was it? It was another blue something.
Oh, yeah, there was another
When
blue
was
that our
that?
grandparents were both had bungalows at.
Blue Paradise.
Blue Paradise.
Blue Paradise in Wurtsboro, Bluebird in Woodridge.
Right.
Wow.
So, yeah.
That was funny.
We were big on blue.
That was funny.
But for sure, that's my
All right.
favorite bungalow story. I will never forget the hole in the wall.
That's a good one.
Yeah, and a new one. Thanks, Cheryl. We
You're welcome.
forgot about that one.
That's going to be a tough one to top.
Right? Well, does anybody have any other bungalow stories?
Who goes next?
Who wants to go next?
maybe nobody has any other bungalow stories.
No, I don't have a bungalow story, but I have like
who could
early
top
memories
that?
of Wawarsing stories. That's my story.
Okay, then your turn.
Okay. Well, we first went to Wawarsing in, I believe it was 57. So I was 4 years old.
Wow.
And I actually remember the place we went to before then was called Quiet Villa. And I only have a few very vague memories because I was like, 2 and 3. I think we went there 2 years in a row.
It's amazing you remember that.
Yeah, I have a lot of memories of being very, very young. The long-term memory they say goes the last, so that's what I'm hanging on to right now.
I don't know. I'll have to read the book and then I'll let you know.
Yeah. So anyway, so when we first went there, now it might have been Memorial Weekend because my first memory of Wawarsing was when we were going to check out the bungalow, and my parents were going to decide if they wanted to go there for that summer and try it out. So we drove up to Section A and met Ruth Horowitz, who got in the car with us, and we drove across the field from Section B to, now in the beginning, the first few years, there were those 2 little bungalows at the end. One was green and one was orange.
Yeah.
And they looked different than all the others. So we stayed in the orange bungalow. And I could be mistaken, but I seem to remember being told that we were the first, that those were the new bungalows.
Yes.
And that we were going to be like the first family in one half of those bungalows.
Mm-hmm.
So Ruth gets in the car with us. Now, I'm this little tiny kid, and this woman, this strange woman, this blonde, curly hair, gets in the back seat and sits next to me, and I'm thinking, who is this person, Why is she in our car? What is she doing here, I didn't quite understand it, So we drove, and I remember going over this bumpy field and coming to this bungalow. And, now I'm only 4, so I don't really understand what's going on. But I have distinct memories of her bringing us in and showing us around and explaining the this and the that, And I said I was thirsty. And so she said, "Oh, let me get you a glass of water." I can't believe I remember this. And this is true, I swear. So she is holding the glass under the faucet and turns on the water. And the water starts dripping in the glass, and I see there's like one drop that it was like 2 inches behind the faucet, just dripping, like kind of congealing there. And I remember saying to myself, if that drop goes in the glass, it's going to make me sick. And all of a sudden, the drop goes in the glass, and they give me the glass, and I drink it. And like 2 seconds later, I ran into the bathroom and I puked.
Oh, God.
That's my first memory of Wawarsing. So it ended up that we got the bungalow, and my memories in those days was that the field, because I was only a tiny kid, seemed endless.
It
just seemed
like a football field.
The hugest thing. And of course, as I got older, we used to go run back and forth the whole night. If you lived in Section A, you'd be in Section B, and vice versa, But it seemed endless to me, and it made the whole place seem gigantic,
I think it was bigger than a football field, wasn't it?
Oh yeah.
Huge.
Oh, I'm guessing it must have been bigger than a football field.
It was gigantic.
Right.
But like in Brooklyn, what do you have that big?
Right, Prospect Park,
Right, that gives you that sense of space.
Right.
Right.
That was the best part of it, that we had room to attract the flying saucer. I'm not going to say it.
Oh, I also remembered looking out my back window at the fireflies.
Oh, right, fireflies.
I used to love watching the fireflies, and we don't get fireflies in Colorado,
so
I don't see those anymore.
I think they might be extinct.
No, we have them in Vermont.
Oh, I should know.
We get them every summer. You can sit outside and and they're so intense. Like there's so many. You catch them on the right night. And
yeah, we have.
So they're around.
We have something in Florida called love bugs, and they attach themselves to each other.
Yeah, they travel in twos, and they're always
Guys.
Oh, they're all over your
way
window.
down
You can't see out the window of the car.
Yeah, right. That's what my sister says.
Yeah.
Terrible. It's in the summer when the love bugs come. Everybody stays home. It's only for a couple of days, but
Really?
It sounds like a plague.
it is like
It is.
Not a plague.
The locust coming.
It's
Love
actually
bug
love bugs. They're sort of attached upside down, like a good position.
Yeah,
I
right.
suppose they're mating. I guess is that why they're
Maybe
called
they
love
eat
bugs?
the firstborn.
They mate.
No,
Yeah.
they call it a love bug because they're born mating.
They're
Yeah.
born mating?
They're born mating.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Yeah, they screw
That's why
all the
they call it
time.
a love
They're
bug.
love bugs.
They are a
Do
nuisance.
they
But the thing
stop?
about it is they're black, and when they land on your windshield, it turns all white because inside they're white. So when they splash on your windshield, they turn white. Well, that's all right. Never mind.
Ain't very well. I think it's
Terrible.
Sears.
But
Yeah.
anyway, speaking of large places,
Well, can we let
listen-
Joel finish his story?
oh
Will
yeah.
you finish?
Oh, I was finished.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, I was thinking also.
Hey, Bert. So like my first memory is very similar too. I was small, 6 years old, and I can remember coming up, and it was like in March or something like that, and everything is like wet and damp and it was like a dark day. I remember walking through mud puddles and stuff.
Say, I don't want to go
But
here
no-
for summer.
Yeah, well, I was like Bert. I didn't know what we were doing there.
Apprehensive, yeah.
Yeah, just taking a long drive. Oh, not apprehensive, but just like,
Curious,
what's going on?
Well, does anybody remember, because I know that we all went, for Memorial Day, we all went up. Does anybody remember that one Memorial Day we went up there and we were up to our knees in snow for that weekend?
No, I don't remember snow.
I remember that, but nobody else does, so it's not really
No, I don't remember
positive that
snow.
it happened.
No.
But-
Wow.
Hey, does anybody remember the 4th of July fire?
Yeah, we talked about that.
Oh, we did.
Back by your house, right?
Yeah, well, it was all along Section B. The whole field of grass caught fire.
Huh, see, I don't remember that.
I don't remember that either.
That was pretty early on. I can't remember what year it was, but anyway, people were throwing sparklers, and the field caught fire, and by the time the firemen had got there, it had started raining, and the rain put the fire out. But that could have been a big deal.
So that could have burnt down the whole colony.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It
Well,
could
at
have.
least Section
Oh,
B.
boy. Yeah, at least Section B. Now, I have some memory of Ollie Pond Park memories I'll pick.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, I remember being very young when we went there.
I knew she
Because I was young when we stopped going to Wawarsing. I was only like 13 or something like that, 12 or 13. So I remember being like 5, 6, 7, like those ages. And I didn't know at the time why we went to Alley Pond Park, because being that young, I didn't know why we were there. I just figured, we'll get to see everybody. I didn't know they were putting a deposit down for the next year. I found that out later on.
I didn't know that until just
I didn't
didn't
know
know
that
that?
either.
I didn't know that at all.
Hello? Well, that's why they had the reunion when they did in October, because everybody would come together and everybody would pay for who was coming back, had to leave a deposit with
I
whoever
never
was
knew that.
in charge of that.
Hey, I didn't know that.
I always
You
wondered
see?
why it was so early in the year, 2 months.
Yeah.
I
Well,
guess
so
that-
you could still spend time outside. It would, if you waited.
That too.
Exactly. And I remember the park. I can close my eyes and picture the entire
Yeah.
park and remember where we all stayed, and then it was like a big opening. We had tables and stuff, and then all of a sudden
Yeah,
it
we used
opened
to
up.
sit on picnic tables.
Yes, and then you can run around and play, and they started up a game, and you can do anything in this park. Well, I don't have any specific. I just really enjoyed getting to see everybody again, because as soon as summer was over and I had to go back to Brooklyn in the project, I missed all my country friends. Even though I had
that was the thing.
a couple of friends. I didn't have a lot of friends. I just had a couple of special friends. I was a tomboy, so I hung out with this kid, Claude, growing up. And he lived across in the project in the building on the same floor as me. And he was a year younger than me, and the two of us were inseparable. And so I didn't have a lot of girlfriends, per se, just Claude. And so I had a lot of friends at the colony, and then I had people I went to school with. But
right. We all had that.
Yeah, Alley Pond Park, I remember just running around and a lot of food, and you can go to anybody's table and they'll give you whatever you wanted, and it was just great seeing everybody again for the day, and we always had great weather for some reason.
I think that Alley Pond
and recently,
Park Well, it was the saddest day for me. Like, I didn't mind going home so much because I knew that in 8 weeks we were going to Alley Pond Park, but the end of Alley Pond Park was truly the end, and that used to
then you didn't see them for a while. But the other night I went to the movies in Delray, and when you're sitting and waiting for a movie, everybody starts talking. So these three ladies in front of my boyfriend Lenny and me, they started talking, and they said, "Where you from?" And this one says, "Oh, up New York area," and "Oh, where Queens?" So she starts naming. I said, "Okay, Lenny's from Queens," so the naming areas, and she says, "Yeah." She goes, "Do you know where Alley Pond Park is?" And and I said, "Do I know Alley Pond Park?"
Wow.
I said, "Yeah, I know exactly where that is."
Isn't that where that nut house was? That famous nut house that they made the movie about was there? I can't think of it now.
Yeah. There was a big funny farm out there.
Yeah, one flew over the cuckoo's nest
in Queens.
Yeah, somewhere with an M.
I don't know.
Yeah, I know there was one just like it out in Staten Island.
Right.
That was called Willowbrook.
Yes,
I remember that, but I know just that I can.
It's with an M. It begins with an M. I can't remember the name of it, but there was a big nut house there too.
You can't call them that anymore.
I can. Nobody's listening to us.
No, but it's not politically correct.
When I was going to publish the tape.
Oh well. So
right. Like people would want to listen to this.
Right.
You never know these days. I mean, with the internet and actually with all the terrorism too, they listen to the.
Well, actually, it is on the internet. If it could be found if it was wanted,
Yeah,
I don't think anybody would care that much. So.
Yeah.
I can't even get my wife to listen to the tapes.
Imagine strangers listening to it.
Yeah, right.
The most important thing is to have fun. If it's something that gives us fun, that's all that matters.
Well, exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we're gonna have, we should have a nice little get together next month.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna have fun.
Yeah.
So the wedding's gonna be perfect.
Oh, I wrote a letter to Cheryl, but I didn't write it to everybody, and I should have really. What I was suggesting is that, because like Stevie and Susan, Stevie Smiler and his wife Susan, they want to come and they have to work in the day, so they want to come. Supposedly we're having a lunch and a dinner, right?
Yeah.
Right.
We're going to just switch places because there's a clam bar right there for the lunch, and JB's where we were going to go for lunch, we'll go for dinner because it's a nicer place, and this way, like Cheryl, when your mother comes, it'll be nicer for her too. So we're going to do the nicer place for dinner and the clam bar for lunch.
But they're both in Deerfield Beach?
It's all in Deerfield Beach. We're not leaving Deerfield Beach. No,
you're going to send us like an email when we get close, and also like open it up and send it to everybody.
Yeah.
So that somebody all of a sudden says, "Oh, I'm in Florida. Maybe I'll go." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, clam bar. We got to talk about that.
Yeah, that sounds good.
You know that clam bar
works for me.
And it's right on a pier. We can go fishing. No, I'm only kidding.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. If anybody wants to get together earlier, I'd be up for that too.
That's what Bert keeps saying too. I have a problem. I wake up with a health problem in the morning, so it usually takes me a while to get out. So I can't really get out too early. I'm trying to shoot for around 1:00. That's the best I can do. But you guys, can meet what time you want, and I'll find you.
So Joel, are you driving down from Tampa at that point?
No, actually, I'm going to fly into to West Palm and stay with my cousin down there.
Oh, okay. And when are you getting there?
I think the 15th or the 16th.
Oh, okay. All right, cool.
And where does your cousin live? Which town?
In Boynton Beach.
Oh, where I am.
He's real close to me too, because I'm in Del Rey, and I'll be in on the 17th.
All right. Well, we'll exchange cell phones
we have
and whatnot.
Phone numbers there.
Definitely.
So when are you going? Did you find someplace in Deerfield that you liked?
No, I'm gonna go further north.
Oh, you're gonna go further north. Well, Boca's nice too. There's a couple of nice places in Boca. I mean, Boynton's nice too. There's nice places all along the beach up there.
What do you know about Flagler Beach?
Flagler Beach, that's really far.
Expensive. Flagler
Beach is
that's West Palm Beach.
That's Worth Avenue, isn't it?
Yeah, Flagler. It's in West Palm Beach.
Yeah,
no.
Donald Trump
It's like almost to St. Augustine.
Oh, it must be a Flagler Beach up there. I didn't know about that. No, don't know it.
Yeah, it sounds like a quiet beach, so that's what appealed.
Oh,
well,
nice.
if you want to go, if you really want to go all the way up north, like by St. Augustine. First of all, St. Augustine is fabulous. But besides St. Augustine, there's a beach up there called Ormond Beach, ORMOND.
Oh yeah.
It has pink sand. It's just it's an incredible natural phenomenon. With sand dunes and stuff. But there's nothing. There's very little to do there besides, awe at the beauty of it.
Yeah.
I guess you could probably find something to do there, but I'm a little bit more.
Girl.
Are there places to stay there? Because I saw it on the map, but it didn't show up as places to stay.
There's places there, but I think that I don't know how many reasonable places there are there.
Yeah. Well, I'll check it out. I think I found a reasonable hotel up there, and so I can stay for a couple days.
And you know what else is nice? If you're going to go up there, you might want to go near up by Cocoa Beach, because then you can. I don't know if you're interested, but you can go up to the Cape Canaveral. What do they call it now? It's not Cape Canaveral anymore.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Oh, it is.
It's Cape Canaveral.
But
they just
really
redid
nice.
the whole thing. It's supposed to be nice.
Well, I'll make it up.
Yeah,
that's for
really
after.
Nice.
That's for after.
Oh, okay.
That's good. Yeah. I'm trying to think. There's another city up there. Oh, can't think of it now. Begins with an M. It's just south of Cocoa Beach. Melbourne.
Yep. Right.
Melbourne is also supposed to be kind of rustic.
Yeah, I found a place that sounded interesting there too.
But what are you going to do? Travel down for the day on the 18th?
Yeah, pretty much.
Because
No, see, I'll be there, and then after we're done, I'm going to travel over to my sister's.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying that's like pretty much a 5-hour ride.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, I know you guys.
A man's got to do what a man's got to do.
I know you guys up in New England. It's like nothing to travel 5 hours. I mean, I have friends up there, and they go visit each other for the day for a 5-hour drive. I don't go to Orlando for.
No, I do the same thing. I drove up to Orlando with my kids for a day and a half, and I went for a day just to visit my friend in Wildwood, which is 3.5 hours from here north. It's not
I did that once.
It's not a bad ride at all.
Yeah.
Besides, we have snow. You get on a highway here, and it's like clean sailing all the way up.
Yeah. I don't even like to go to Miami, but I don't even like to go to West Palm. I guess it's because I have.
We're getting off track now. Anybody else have any stories?
What was the other subject? We had a third subject. What was it, Cheryl? What was the third subject?
Well,
early
else any of the same stories? I mean, we had Ellie Pond Park, we had earliest memories, or the bungalow stories.
Bungalow stories. What's a bungalow story?
I told the bungalow story.
What you remember about your own bungalow?
Okay, I have one. Now, I don't know if anybody's going to remember this. I just seem to remember it. But one morning I woke up and I went on the porch, and it was really early, and I looked out, and there was these two, they weren't horses. They were donkeys or mules.
Oh, my God.
Two mules, I guess, wandered onto the property. And
really?
they were just standing before playland was, from looking out, and they were just standing in the middle of the field. Two of them. And I was like, I love horses, and these weren't horses, though. They were donkeys or mules. I'm not sure I don't know the difference. But anyway, I'm looking at it, probably donkeys. And they were grayish color with a little white and the black on their ears, and I'm looking at them, and I said, and that's when I was staying with the Curtises that year, with Evan Curtis's family that year.
Mhm.
And I looked and I said, I don't believe this. And I was like, look what's out there. And I woke him up, and we went out there, and I wanted to ride them because I like horses. So, and they were very docile, but I couldn't figure out. And it was really early in the morning, and I was like, where the hell did they come from? So I got on one of them on their back, but they didn't run or anything. They just
Who was with you? Just by yourself?
No, I was with Evan Curtis.
Oh.
Huh. And there were no people with these donkeys?
No, they just wandered onto the property, and it was early in the morning, 5:30 or something. Everybody was sleeping, and I woke up, and I happened to just look. I went to the porch, and I'm just yawning and stretching, and I look out, and I see these two donkeys standing there. They wandered onto the property from I don't know where, but this a guy showed up later on. There was a few other kids coming around. The beanstalks were there. I don't know who else. That's why I said, does anybody remember it?
There was wasn't there some farm type of stuff across the road? Not the little road, the big road across the road.
I know the big road. That's why. And the guy came with a truck and took them away early afternoon.
No memory
I was
of
like,
that.
damn. Yeah.
Close.
That was fun. Nobody has that memory. Okay.
No, I don't know.
No.
I don't
I'm sure I've
donkeys there.
Hey, do people remember hiking or biking into Elenville through the back road by the prison?
Yes, Nappaneck Prison. Yes.
I do remember
that. I remember
wasn't
walking that road with the Gigis, and we passed by these little, very poor families and their houses and a dumps, and the kids were running around with no shoes and half dressed, and then I remember walking by cornfields.
Right. Cornfields.
Remember the smell of that cornfield? How that smelled when it on a humid day? That was an incredible smell.
Nasty.
Yes. And then I remember getting to the prison with our group one time, and we had to sit down on the side because they were crossing them from one area to another. And
really?
They were shackled. They were shackled to each other,
and
they were walking them across. And we were sitting. They just put us on the side. They said, "Everybody sit down." They didn't want us to keep walking until they finished moving the prisoners. So we sat down and we watched these. I just at that
what
time
an
I don't even know.
adventure.
They were taking hostage.
Were they wearing striped suits?
I don't remember that. I don't think so.
Orange.
It's like, oh, brother, where art thou?
Yeah, oh, brother.
I don't think
that's
they
what
were
it was
even
like.
orange back in the day.
No, I don't remember what they were wearing, but it was I just was like, ooh, look, we didn't want to don't look in their eyes,
Yeah, right.
What about that same point
you.
that there was a place that we used to go to up on top of Nappaneck? It was like a cave.
Yeah, you went through Wurtsboro to get there. And it was on top of the mountain that you were looking at. If you were in section B.
Yeah.
It was way at the end of that ridge.
Yeah, I remember we went there a couple of times.
Oh yeah, you could see.
And you know what else? Oh,
everywhere.
I just remembered something. There was a pizza place on 209 going towards Kingston, and the name of it was the Casino. Probably nobody remembers that.
I remember a pizza place.
Yeah,
I remember
it was
the name.
A barn, and I remember the name being the Casino. And then for Chinese food we had to go into Kingston. there was a Chinese restaurant. Because, I mean, New Yorkers without Chinese food, that's like withdrawal, you know.
Sure.
I don't remember
and
ever
that's specific to Jews, by the
Wawarsing
way.
once I got there. I don't remember us ever taking a trip off of Wawarsing. My parents, at least. I don't remember leaving.
We went
Except
at least
to go
3 times.
in Marty Loeb's car to get ice cream or something. I don't remember going, you know, on a trip hike to Elenville for that.
Elenville was a big trip.
Yeah.
Yeah, every now and then we go
I
to
remember
the movies.
walking there, but I don't remember. I never went. I was too young to go to the movies there. I never went to the movies there. But I did hike with the Gigi's to go get that ice cream Sunday or whatever and spin the wheel.
Yeah, where was there was also
but how did we get back? Because I know I didn't walk back.
No, we got driven.
No, we got rides.
So he's got a ride back.
Oh, okay.
Everybody
I can't for life of me decide how we got back.
A Dairy Queen or something besides that drug.
Carvel.
Oh,
yeah,
Carvel.
yeah. There was the people who went to Carvel and the people who went to Dairy Queen.
Oh, how did
right. Let's take a straw poll here.
Okay.
All right. Who was Dairy Queen?
I went to both. Are you kidding? Ice cream? I wasn't.
I went to. I believe it was Dairy Queen.
I was there.
Well, what was
Carvel?
Carvel. I was.
Did Marty Loeb? I think he took us to Dairy Queen. I don't remember going to Carvel.
Where was
the middle of nowhere? Yeah, where was the
Carvel? There was like a straight stretch, maybe half a mile or a mile before you got into Elenville.
Oh.
And then Dairy Queen was like right in Elenville.
And the drugstore was right in Elenville too, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Ballotin.
It was like a Rexall.
Mhm.
Yeah. There were 2 movie theaters.
Right. The Shadowland was one.
The Shadowland. Ooh.
The Shadowland.
That's funny.
I forgot the name of the other one.
That's funny. We go to the Shadowwood now, right?
Yeah. Shadowland.
Was there a Strand Theater? Does that
right,
sound
the Strand. Yeah, the Strand sounds right. Although there's probably been a million Strands in my life already, so.
Yeah, I remember seeing A Hard Day's Night in that Elenville theater.
Yeah.
Yes.
And all the girls screamed the whole time. It was like, why don't they shut up so I can watch the movie, you know?
You're right. Right.
I
And
don't
then the
know
next
how many times we went to see it. I mean, I think we went to see it many times.
Quite a few times.
Yeah.
A couple of weekends in a row. I mean, especially, the girls who are my age.
I've got a story about going to the movies. One time there was like a revival of Gone with the Wind. Okay, and everybody wanted to see it, and for some reason, maybe I was being punished or something. I wasn't going to go, but at the last second, my mother says, "Okay, you can go," and I tear ass on my bicycle, down to Section A where the car was leaving, and I crashed the bike and I missed the car. Okay. So, but the good part about it is I finally did see that movie, and it's terrible. I'm so glad I missed it that day.
I don't know. I kind of remember that. I know it's impossible that I remember that, but I kind of remember that. I remember something like that, us all going to a movie and you trying to make it and not making it or something. But it could be, it's not necessarily that it really happened, but I seem to remember it.
Yeah.
But
I might have told everybody the next day.
It was terrible.
Well, whatever, it was like, but, it's ironic because when I finally saw the movie, it was like, what did I make such a big deal about it for,
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way about that movie, but, not everybody does. But it was rough on our parents, because there was no camp, and we turned around and demanded that they provide us with entertainment on the weekends, and here they had just driven up on Friday nights and everything, and they had to all take, I guess they took turns, but they took us, away Saturday or Sunday. They'd always provide an activity for us besides, because there was no.
But your parents were nice. My parents didn't do that. We had to they just go.
How about all the movies that we saw in the casino? Holy mackerel!
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
How many?
The
How
days
about all the
before
times
videos and.
I remember
Those
seeing
were great. I used
mean,
to love when
every
the
night.
reel stopped.
Every night the reel broke.
And
More than one.
Like ducks.
Yeah, right.
Or rabbits in the light. We used to do hand puppets behind
Yes.
the scenes.
Oh yeah.
You're waiting
Rabbits
for the
and
wheel.
dogs.
I remember that.
And real Cokes.
Right.
In glass
A
jars.
little glass bottle. Yeah.
And
Oh.
sometimes the movie wouldn't get there on time. Aaron would come
Right.
charging in
Oh,
with the
yeah.
movie. Everybody's waiting.
Right.
And there were cartoons.
Everybody
first,
bought their
right?
beach chairs.
Yeah, right.
And their lounge chairs. Those were they got a lounge chair to watch the movie. I just got a chair. Yeah.
Wasn't there cartoons first though?
I think on
Yep.
Wednesday nights they had the cartoons first.
No, Friday night we had cartoons for the little kids right after the service. I remember going home and changing and coming back and seeing cartoons, and then we had to leave because then they were going to show a movie later
the adult
on.
movie, right.
Adult movie Friday night, yeah.
Adult movie.
The Saturday night was the casino. The parents had the casino on
Right.
Saturday.
Did they have frozen marshmallow chocolate marshmallow things there? I don't know
Twists.
why that's sticking out of my
There were
mind.
marshmallow twists that were chocolate covered.
Right. Right. Frozen marshmallow twists. Right.
Yep. Oh yeah.
That was, I
Those
think,
are
one
still
of our
good.
big favorites. Right?
Those are still good. The cherry and the vanilla.
That's right, the pink ones.
I'll have to
Yeah,
get
the pink one.
We're coming up on
The
Passover.
raspberry
I
or
should
whatever.
be able to
Put them
get
in the
it soon.
freezer. They're great.
Right.
I'll have to remember to pick some up. We're almost there.
Definitely.
Yeah.
All right. What
Think
time
of that
is it?
orange soda too
About
that
that
we would
time.
have.
Oh, we used our hour up already?
Yes, we
Yeah,
did.
just about.
Getting
Okay.
late. I'm tired.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll
Long
get
day.
together again in 2 weeks, I hope.
Yeah.
Sounds
So
good.
give me 3 more topics. That's all.
Yeah,
we need.
well, everybody
really well. I like it.
contribute ideas, and then we'll pick them out towards the end, okay?
Yeah. But I
Sounds
like
good.
the format. It's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
this particular group of people, who participate pretty regularly are people who enjoy talking, so that's good for all of us, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And
What happened to Bobby Moskowitz tonight?
Yeah, I was just gonna, I was going to call him right after I called you. I started saying, I got to call Bobby Moskowitz and remind him. But we had already started, Cheryl was already saying, well, let's start the tape. But next time, we're going to be more cognizant of we'll do something online to who wants to be reminded, and whoever signs up to be reminded, we'll do a reminding thing before the call.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
I wonder if if we could ever set up like a video conference. That would be a blast.
Yeah, I don't know how to do it though. Cheryl.
Yeah, I don't know how to do it either.
Yeah, I know how to do it.
I don't have
I
that.
haven't found a free one.
Yeah, I don't have that.
I don't have it either, but I mean, those little cameras they're not expensive. They're like $10 or something.
Yeah, I have the.
Yeah, but the thing
What
is that it's really hard to see people on those little things.
You need a lot of
What
bandwidth.
does it cost, Cheryl? What would it cost?
It's probably, I'm trying to think, because we do some business ones. I think they were charging like $10 a person.
Yeah, I know they're not expensive, but
No, for the video conference, not for the
Uh-huh.
camera.
Oh.
Yeah, you have to each buy a camera. They're probably
Each
probably
time
like
you have a
No,
video,
no,
$29,
$10,
$19, something like that, depending on what kind you buy.
They're
Yeah.
cheap.
Yeah, and then Cheryl has to come to everybody's house to show us how to use it.
Right.
That too. How to install it.
Yes, and mine's built into my computer, so
Yeah.
I don't kind of have like an external one.
Yeah, I'm
So
throwing my
what happens?
computer away.
Do you have like a little screen with everybody on it?
Yeah,
How do those work? I've never seen them.
yeah. I'll see if I can find a real cheap one. I'll look this.
That'd be
Well,
fun.
See if you find
I wouldn't mind.
a video article that you can put up about it.
Yeah, right.
Let me see what I can find. Actually, one way to do it for free is to use IM, instant messaging, which, Fern, you got on, I said hello, and you got off.
I don't know how to work it.
I know. Live. I showed you how to work it because I sent you the message. I said, Fern, and then you got on. I go, Fern!
I didn't get it.
And so all you had to do was respond to me, and then you would have known how to use it.
You know,
So is it like,
what? My daughter's been trying to teach me how I am for years.
You signed in to Windows Live, but then you got off. But anyway,
I sign in, and then I don't know what to do, so I hang up.
You hit my email and type.
Right.
I saw you come up, so I sent you a message, and I said, Fern, you're doing it.
Yeah, Sharon does it on Sundays with her family. They're all clicking away on the keyboard there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't type as quick as I can talk.
Yeah,
my
son
friend
can
does that when I'm in
maybe
the middle
my
of
son
something.
can
So anyway, there is a way to do it for free if we use IM, but everybody
Okay, so see,
IM,
let's
and then
see.
we video in.
See if you can find something like on the internet when you have time. I know you're really busy, but there must be some kind of like instructional thing that you can read that tells you how to do it, because I can't.
Yeah, it's not hard. This is not difficult. It's just that each video cameras will be different.
Yeah.
Like mine and my computer, I just click on it.
Yeah.
And
well, we're
video.
all going to see each other very soon anyway.
Yeah.
And I'm not so sure I want to see how I look now anyway. But I guess
the conference facility, that's the problem. It's the video.
You'd have time to put on your makeup, Fern.
Yeah. You guys have already seen what I look like now. We've all seen how we look now, thanks to internet. What's the difference anyway?
Right.
You know, that's not what's important.
This is true.
Right. Okay, I'm going to stop recording.